Welcome everybody to fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. It is the NBA Summer League, and here from the Thomas and Mack Center today, featuring the Houston Rockets and the Sacramento Kings. Starting lineup for the Houston Rockets: Fortson, Lamb, White, Morris, and Mojunas. Fredette, Mitchell, Lee, Robinson, and Jackson for the Sacramento Kings. Along with Rick Mahorn, Kevin Calabro on hand, and we are set to get underway here. The Sacramento Kings, Rick, the team that was 22-44 a year ago, they need defense, and they need it badly. They were last in the NBA in points scored by opponents, nearly 104 per ball game. Opponents shooting 47%. But what they're in the act of right now is to get a firm assessment of their point guard situation. And Jimmer Fredette, is he a point guard? Is he a two guard? And he's got to do, well, better than that. He's got to take care of the basketball first and foremost.
Right there, you can see an example is that, you got to have concentration when you get on the court, and the concentration wasn't there at the start of the game.
Houston Rockets, of course, are a team that's intriguing. Here's Morris for a number of reasons. Ball tipped and controlled by the Sacramento Kings. And bringing it out of backcourt. Tony Mitchell is 6'6", 210 out of Alabama. The rookie working with it. And he threw it out of bounds, trying to find Jimmer Fredette over on the far edge.
A lot of not patient enough on making the passes. Houston is pushing the ball defensively. They're forcing them out, so you have to make sure that you establish position before you can make that pass.
Courtney Fortson, the 5'11" point guard. And the Houston Rockets give this ball away as it goes around the gym.
The value of a basketball. You don't want to turn it over, especially when you're auditioning for at least a job or some time on a team.
And that was Royce White, unable to catch the ball. Here's Fredette down the far side. The pull-up jump shot for Fredette is off the mark and recovered by Royce White, who tips the scales at 260. Out of the wing, it's Lamb triggering.
Talking with Bickerstaff, Coach Bickerstaff, he's really impressed with White. He loves the way that he can take a rebound and bring it down the court.
Lee scores, and the Sacramento Kings on the board. Sacramento Kings were busy today, and they made some news as well. Here's Morris with a step-back jump shot. Lee with a rebound. Morris deflects a ball out of bounds, and Sacramento will take possession.
As a point guard, and when you're looking for a point guard on your team, you have to look up, ahead, above the transition and see if you got a guy breaking for a layup. Blown opportunity right there for Sacramento.
Fredette out of BYU came off the bench last year for Sacramento. Isaiah Thomas stepped in. Last man taken in the draft a year ago from Washington, starting at point guard.
One thing about it, it's an opportunity, and he took time. He got an opportunity, and he took a job, and that's the best thing about being an underdog. You're going out there to take a job.
Thomas Robinson at 6'9", guarding Donatas Mojunas, the 7-footer from Lithuania. And that's something Robinson's going to have to do on a nightly basis at 6'9", 240.
Well, he plays bigger than bigger than 6'9". That's why they have confidence in him playing that power forward.
Fredette so far in 2 previous games, 5 for 22 shooting. Fredette drives into the lane, protects the ball with the body, laid it up lefty, wouldn't go, and a foul called inside. This will go against the Sacramento Kings.
You get so much pressure coming out of college as Fredette when he got drafted last year. You get all that pressure. He has to learn to relax and let the game come to him instead of him forcing an issue.
Darnell Jackson called with a foul. Jackson's been around a little bit. He's played in the league 3 years, logged in from Kansas. 6'9" and 253. Morris into the lane. One of the twins at Kansas, coming into his second year in the NBA.
This is the kid I'm impressed with right here is Jeremy Lamb. I think his ability and his court awareness is going to be great for the Houston Rockets.
Turnover, and the Kings sail the other way, but a foul called in transition, and it's against the Houston Rockets. Foul is on Mojunas, and the Kings will go to work.
Well, big
for
guys,
that with it.
You know, big guys got to get back in transition when they try to do sneaky things by holding the other big guy that's running faster than them.
Jackson slips a screen, fires an 18-footer straight away, in and out. And a rebound covered by Royce White.
You know, Royce White is reminding me a little bit of Charles Barkley.
Right there.
He may be 260, but he's quick on his feet and he's fluid with the basketball.
Fredette, a pull-up jump shot. And the rebound pulled away by Morris. Here is Lamb. White on the post up. He had position on a smaller player, threw it across the lane, intercepted by Fredette, and a foul.
Well, when you're 6'9", 6'8", 2'8", 260, and you're trying to make a bounce pass to another big guy, you got to make sure the ball comes off the ground. Because a lot of times, I'll tell you, if it was me, I wouldn't even bend down to get it. But here you go, attacking the basket, Mr. White.
White listed at 6'8" and 260.
I mean, he has the body of Charles Barkley.
Fredette to Darnell Jackson, left side Mitchell for three. And there it is.
Good ball movement, great offensive execution. And in the meantime, you get transition baskets. One thing about it, in the summer league, they're going to push the basketball. And Sacramento, like you said, is not known for their defensive prowess, so you got to get back in transition.
Sacramento's opponents average 104.4, 30th in the NBA dead last year, and yielding points to opponents. And opponents shot 47%. On the offensive end, they try to get it rolling with Robinson on a low block maneuver, and a good anticipation in there by Tony Mitchell to tap it in.
You know, one thing about Robinson, he understands the game. He just puts too much pressure on himself. He has to learn to relax.
Fortson enters to Monte Eunice, deflected away and grabbed by Fredette. Heads the other way in transition, draws the bump, knocked down. He'll go to the line for two. That's what Jimmer Fredette needs to do, is use that quickness down the floor.
Yes, he does, and I like what he did. He didn't shun away from the contact, but he executed the play and he got the foul.
Jimmer Fredette trying to find a rhythm here at the Summer League and carry it over to the regular season. Welcome back. A beautiful day here in Las Vegas, Nevada at the NBA Summer League, along with Rick Mahorn, Kevin Calabro on hand. The Kings leading the Houston Rockets 7-4. Jared Greenberg joins us this afternoon with some news from the sideline concerning the Sacramento Kings. They've been busy.
They certainly were this morning in the front office, acquiring James Johnson from the Raptors in exchange for a 2014 second-round pick. The 6'9" forward now joins a very crowded front court. Of course, you're seeing Thomas Robinson here, DeMarcus Cousins, Jason Thompson, who just got re-upped, and Chuck Hayes. Then they did some work on their backcourt, signing free agent Aaron Brooks, the 2010 most improved player, played last year in China. So a lot of depth on this team now, fellas.
Jared, thank you. That'll be interesting because Brooks measures out at just about 6'1" and teamed with Isaiah Thomas, possibly, as a starting unit for Sacramento. Makes it a diminutive yet very quick and offensively very potent backcourt.
You got to be explosive. If you can't stop anybody, you better make sure that you outscore them. Ask the Phoenix Suns when they had to do it for a couple of years.
Here is Lamb working with it. Jeremy Lamb from Connecticut. Royce White. Monte Eunice lays it up and in.
Demo, nice pass, nice touch pass by Royce White to get him that low post position, to give him a little cherry pick jump hook. You
called him Demo?
Demo.
Okay.
You know, that's what they call him down in Houston.
I saw you conferring with the Houston bench there, and Coach Bickerstaff and Greg Buckner alongside.
Well, it's hard to pronounce his name, but it's easier to say Demo.
Lee, the left-hander, lets it fly off the mark, and Royce White with a rebound, and he has a terrific ability to handle the ball. As you see him come down there poised and fires off a bullet into the corner to Morris.
And I feel like I'm watching Charles Barkley. I really do, and I'm not going to keep emphasizing that, but he's a very smart basketball player, and he makes those great passes, and he rebounds well.
Courtney Fortson scores out of Arkansas. Here's Lee again. The lefty winds up, delivers, and hits a three-pointer.
Can't give him, I think that's his second three-pointer, and you can't leave him that wide open.
Here in the early going, the Kings 4 for 11, 36% shooting. And the Rockets 4 of 9. There's a look at Royce White, who transferred from Minnesota to Iowa State, played the 1 year there, and then came out of the draft.
you know, some things that we talked about it last night. You know, 6 or something, and this is a guy that can give you maybe more than 6 points a game, and I know he's going to definitely give you 6 rebounds.
Now that was the old Charles Oakley theory of scoring at sixes, right? Either score 6 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, or as we mentioned last night, 6 hard fouls.
6
right?
hard fouls if you do have them, but here you get 10. We learned that last night that you get 10 fouls, you can't even foul out.
Indeed, that is the summer league rule. 10 fouls is the limit. Here is Fredette, and 2 players have already fouled out at summer league play on Friday night. Fredette outside, changes a 3 to a pass. Good defense by Machado. Royce White with a rebound.
Get another rebound for Royce White, and he's handling it in transition.
Lamb, the change of pace, drives into the lane, double clutches and finger rolled it in. That was silk.
I'll tell you, he is so smooth. We got the body and the size frame of George Gervin, but yet he's quick enough to get to the basket.
Fredette again goes to the rim with a crossover, is knocked down, and will shoot 2 on the foul to White.
One thing that's impressing me about Fredette, he's getting to the basket and he's absorbing that contact and getting to the free throw line.
So if Aaron Brooks joins the Sacramento Kings, as we had just heard, and Isaiah Thomas, where does that put Jimmer Fredette in the hierarchy?
Bench looks really dark down there a little bit sometimes, but it's all about opportunity. If you want something, you go out there and work hard to get it. And I know if he has the right frame of mind, he will go out there and he'll outwork those guys. Nothing's concrete, especially in the NBA. If you got drafted at a high level, you better make sure that you get there.
Royce White tried to redirect the pass, intercepted by Robinson. Fredette is off to the races, to the glass, and blocked away by White. Goaltending the call, and the bucket counts for Fredette. Set up on a steal by Thomas Robinson in the paint.
Oh, you look at when he's going in there to the paint, he's taking that contact. But you know, Royce White, that's a no-no in the NBA. You can't knock it against the board.
Scott Mikado from Iona, finding Jeremy Lamb for 3. Closing out was Mitchell. Fredette the other way. The pull-up from 3 is off. Rebound right back to him. Reloads. And that's a flat shot that rolls off.
Well, you know, I like his aggressiveness. He's not shying away from shooting.
Fredette is 1 for 6. Machado drives inside, pass deflected. Lamb makes the catch. Double clutches to the rim, laid it in, and got whacked up around the shoulders in the angle, head to the line.
Well, first he got his shorts grabbed, and then he still continued with the strength to get to the basket and finish. You have to love that about Jeremy Lamb. You watch it, he goes to the basket, his pants grabbed, and he makes the layup. Look at this right here, Kevin. Boy, can't even stop the guy trying to undress him. But the Kings have the lead right now, and I'm impressed at them getting out in transition.
Robinson, 1 dribble adjustment to his right, lets it fly, and that's off.
Could have took a second dribble right there, made it a little quick short dribble.
Lamb, Machado crossing over into the lane, over Fredette. He missed it. Fredette the rebound.
You know, as I was talking to Bickerstaff, he's one of those guys that can get to the basket, Machado, but he spoon feeds guys similar to a poor man Steve Nash.
Fredette again goes to the rim, and again he is rewarded with a free throw attempt. He'll be attempting his 5th and his 6th free throws here of the early going from Las Vegas. We'll step aside for a timeout here from the Thomas and Mack in Las Vegas, with the Kings leading the Rockets 16-13 and 2:43 left to play. Marcus Morris getting the Houston Rockets on the board. 16-13 score. Kings leading the Houston Rockets. There are a number of fraternal brothers playing in the Summer League. Markieff Morris, Phoenix. Marcus Morris, the Twins. Marcus playing for Houston right here in front of you. Luke Zeller, San Antonio. Tyler Zeller for Cleveland. Jeremiah and Austin Rivers. And DeVoe Joseph playing for Toronto, back in his hometown. And Corey Joseph in his 2nd year with the San Antonio Spurs.
You know what's nice about that is you got your brother out here supporting you. You know, not only that you have a game watching your brother or playing against your brother, you're enjoying that bond that you had as kids growing up. Then you can always have the little healthy competition. Say, we beat y'all up and you were checking me, I gave you some of this.
Fredette is now 6 of 6 from the free throw line. And the Kings lead it by 5.
And that's how they're getting their points, attacking the basket.
Zoran Dragic to Lamb, knocks down a 3-point shot. And Jeremy Lamb has been outstanding here early with 8 points.
He's not even sweating. He's so smooth. And Coach Calhoun, I spoke with him a couple of times when he was in school, and was glad that he stayed because it'll help him out as a professional.
Robinson comes across the middle. Had some difficulty there with Terrence Jones, who's in the lineup now for the Houston Rockets. One of 3 first-round picks for the Rockets. Terrence Jones out of Kentucky. Lamb on a give and go, jams it and is fouled. And again, Lamb is just a cut above.
When you talk about the summer league, guys really show up, and telling you, Jeremy Lamb has been on the big stage already, winning a national championship. But the way his basketball IQ is, it helped the UConn Huskies win that championship just because he had his calm composure and his demeanor.
Lamb a 3-point play, averaged 18 points his sophomore year at Connecticut. He's one of 3 first-round draft choices. Terrence Jones, the 18th pick, and Royce White, the 16th pick.
So they got some good-looking rookies who are really showcasing their skills early.
All of them on the floor right now. Sacramento goes to work. Rockets by 1. A minute 39 left in the first quarter. Johnson pump fakes, triggers. Jones up for the rebound.
That's what Jones does. He can rebound. He also can handle the basketball. They got a lot of ball facilitators out there for the Houston Rockets.
Lamb turns the corner into the lane, hangs in the air. Little roller won't go. Robinson the rebound. Flings it out in front for the official.
I didn't think he should have got it.
Led him beautifully for a fast break.
Yes, it was. He looked up the court. There was a guy open. Just was the wrong guy.
Third turnover on the Kings. Machado from Iona, 6'1" guard at the trigger right now. Off his knee, controlled by Johnson, into the lane to the glass. Counted if it goes. He's fouled in the act.
Right now, Machado needs to try to relax a little bit. He's coming in the game, not making the great passes, but getting the ball bumped and getting beat in transition.
This is Dominic Jones headed to the line from Azusa Pacific. Dominic Johnson from Azusa Pacific and played in the D-League. Bobby Jackson making the decisions over on the Sacramento bench, assisted over there by Alex English.
Talk about a lot of scoring punch on that bench. Between Alex English and Bobby Jackson can give you 42 or 50 one night, and then you got Alex English on the other side to give you the same at any given night.
And they call the number of Rob Kurz from Notre Dame, has been playing in France the last couple of years. Kurz on the floor now for Sacramento. Here's Lamb again, 2-man play with Royce White. White, excellent bounce pass inside. Terrence Jones hangs in the air, and Kurt's got a piece of him, and so Terrence Jones will shoot 2.
There's some guys that stand up in this league, and especially in the summer league. You got Royce White, who makes those little dime passes in there that makes the big men feel good, that knowing that he's going to give it up.
Jones part of that incredible haul from Kentucky. 6 picks overall in the first 2 rounds of the draft, tied an NBA record, and of course with Anthony Davis going 1 and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist going 2, first school to net the first and second picks ever in the NBA draft. Jones, of course, joined by Marquise Teague, Doran Lamb, and Darius Miller. White flings it outside. Forbes drives into the lane. Forbes on the run is fouled going to the rim, and there's Sacramento's defense again, porous up the middle, and Houston going right to the rim.
I tell you, he decided not to take that long shot. The seas parted and he went to the basket. He went strong. Get to the free throw line. Good move by Forbes.
Well, what are the Houston Rockets going to do? Rick Mahorn, it sure sounds that they're in play to try to clear enough space as possible to lure Dwight Howard or a trade with the Orlando Magic, Kevin McHale.
You know, they have a lot of things out there. I mean, you got the Jeremy Lin situation. You don't know if New York's going to match or whatever's going to happen, but you got to make sure that you're ready to play.
Jones, great no look, and that's Gates with a two-hand jam.
One thing about Gates, he's a very physical player. He gets in the post. He's a wide body. You got to have wide bodies if you're in Sacramento. You got Cousins, but yet Gates can be a force to be reckoned with.
Jones across the middle, bothered by Kurtz. Kurtz the rebound, outlets to Lee. 13 seconds left in the quarter, and the Kings will work for the last shot. Dominic Johnson with it, trying to turn the corner. Royce White, good defense to stand him up, and he missed it at the end of the first quarter here from Las Vegas. Well, this was the first quarter in which Jeremy Lamb displayed his skills, hitting 4 of 8 from the field in 9 minutes of play. Hanging in the air, swooping in, rearranging. That is Jeremy Lamb. We head to the second quarter after this from the NBA. Welcome back, 22 all, Sacramento and Houston here at the NBA Summer League in Las Vegas, Nevada. Rick Mahorn, Kevin Calabro, joined by Chandler Parsons of the Houston Rockets out of Florida, second team all-rookie NBA last year. And already some experience here in the Summer Pro League in Las Vegas, Nevada. Pretty nice move there. How are you, sir? You doing all right?
I'm great. How you guys doing?
Good, good, good. What are you attempting to do with your game now this summer?
Just really work on all aspects of my game. I really wanted to become more of a consistent shooter, get to the free throw line more, and just be confident at the free throw line. Continue to get stronger, so when I play the 2, I can post up smaller defenders and just keep working on my ball handling. I want to have the ball in my hand a lot more this year, make decisions, and be in pick and roll. So just really focusing on those 3 things.
And you are not playing because of an injury to your
a wrist. It's very minor though. I planned on just playing 1 or 2 games before that even happened, and then the day before we left I just got caught in a jersey and sprained it a little bit. So nothing serious, just out here being part of the team.
You know, coming from that program in college, you figure you're coming in the league, and there was a lot of things out there, like your comparisons were to Larry Bird, you know, as far as handling the basketball. It's not, you know, don't take it kind of, but
right.
I like the way you play because you're 6'9", you're pretty fluid, you can handle the basketball. The aspect of your game, the thing that you really want to work on is it going to be your shooting?
Definitely. I think because once people run me off the line, I feel like that's where I'm going to thrive, when I can get in the lane and start creating for others and use my IQ. So I think once I become a knockdown shooter, people run me off the line, that'll open up the rest of my entire game.
We saw a gentleman by the name of Beal last night that was absolutely sensational.
Yeah, I'm a big Bradley Beal fan. I never got a chance to play with him in Florida, but he can really play. He can really shoot the ball, and he's going to have a great year this year.
Would you love to have him when you were there?
I'd love to have him in Houston. He is a great player.
You know, looking at the rookies coming in right now, that you see the Royce Whites, and you see the Terrence Morrises, and you see also the Jeremy Lambs, that's really going to boost your confidence in a team like this.
Yeah, definitely. Those 3 guys, they all bring something different. With Terrence Jones, he's just a rugged 4 that's going to finish, and he's a great team guy, and he's really had some success here. And Royce White is incredibly unselfish, one of the best passing big guys I've ever seen. And Jeremy Lamb can really just score the ball. He can shoot, he's athletic, he's long, and he can just get buckets.
How is it playing for Kevin McHale?
Besides the nicknames that he gives me.
Which are what?
I don't know. He called me like Mad Chicken or something the other day.
Mad Chicken?
Yeah.
You should give him his for what they called him in Boston, Frankenstein.
Frankenstein? I told him I was going to give him one, but I haven't come up with it yet. So, no, but it's been awesome playing for him. Our entire staff, with Coach Sampson, Bickerstaff, Greg Buckner, and especially Coach McHale, just even off the court, I'm so close with those guys, and it's a really good relationship, and they're always looking for ways to try and get us better, and it's been a blessing playing for those guys.
Do you read the sports section in the morning? You read NBA news?
I don't, but I do have a Twitter, and I'm on ESPN a lot, so okay. I see that.
So you pay attention to what's going on with Jeremy Lin and the Houston Rockets, and you've heard of Dwight Howard, no doubt, and the pursuit of Dwight Howard. From a player standpoint, particularly a young player, how much do you concern yourself with all that?
I try not to. I really just try and focus on the things I can control and leave that up to management and the staff upstairs. But obviously you hear it, you read about it, and it's out there. So I just really trying to keep working on my game and make sure our team is focused and make sure our young guys are just competing every night, because that's really not in their control at all.
What is it about that Florida program? You guys just come out tough as nails. I was so impressed with Beal last night. His willingness to throw himself on the floor for loose ball scrambles. I mean, here it is, summer league. He's obviously secure, knowing he's a high draft pick and he's going to have a job in this league. But there he is, throwing himself on the floor after loose ball, 50-50 balls.
I think it's just a product of Coach Donovan. Billy Donovan is just all hard work. You know, how hard you work is what you earn. And you know, my 4 years there was the best 4 years of my life, and he just taught me how hard it is to win, what it takes to win. You know, pride yourself on the defensive end, and just do all the things that you don't get credit for, taking charges, loose ball, you know, all those little things that add up to, he calls them winning plays. And I think all the guys, if you look in the NBA that came out of Florida, Al Horford, Joakim Noah, David Lee, Bradley, all these guys are just tough as nails and do whatever it takes to win.
Now, 4 years as opposed to coming right out of school, I know it's up to each individual, but there are a lot of people that benefit by that. You are one of them, obviously. Was it a question just maturing physically and growing into your body to a point where you felt like you could take the rigors of the NBA?
Yeah, I think it's different for everybody. Obviously, a guy like Bradley, he didn't need to stay in school. If he's ready after 1 year, by all means, you should go. Someone like me, I think it gave me an advantage just because I was there for 4 years. I've been through it all. I won games. I won big conference tournament games. I lost a lot of games, so I understood coming in what it took to win, and I was ready to come in and, you know, compete right away. So I think it works both ways, just depending on who the player is.
You know, going back to Kevin McHale, you know, has he told you good stories from when he played, or does he go back and reminisce about things?
You know what? I sat next to him on the plane on the way here from Houston, and we talked for pretty much the whole time. And he's an unbelievable guy. I heard all the stories from, you know, Minnesota to him, how I couldn't play in the 80s because those guys are much tougher now, and you know, everything from the Celtics to Larry Bird. And it's just awesome having a guy and a resource like that just to be able to talk to. And obviously him being one of the best players ever played, top 50 player, it's just incredible, and you have a whole other level of respect for a guy like that who's actually done it.
You know, Kevin, he's giving him too much love. I said he's sitting up there, boy.
I'm trying to get more minutes.
Trying to get more minutes.
I see.
Look at his expression.
Yeah, no, he's not listening.
What are you talking about? He's not listening to nobody. But, you know, he's one of the best players. I was fortunate to play against him and also fortunate to beat him, you know, to get to the finals and play in for a championship. But one thing that I've learned from Kevin McHale, he's one of those guys that he's always going to teach you and mentor you and make you the best player you can be.
He is. I completely agree with that. And he's always pushing you. He's always looking for ways to get you better. And, you know, I really respect that. And I'm really happy playing for him and being in Houston.
Well, Zarek Jones in the lineup now for the Sacramento Kings out of UCLA. Knocks it down. The Kings shooting 33%, 4 of 7 from 3.
Tell me a little bit, Chandler, about Demo.
Demo, he's a heck of a player. You know, he works extremely hard, and he can really step out and shoot the ball. And I don't think people understand that about him. If you guys saw the first game, he had like 25 points and was 3 for 3 from the three-point line. So he can really play. He's smart. He's a good defender, and I think he's going to really help us this year with his size and his length down low.
Yancey Gates triggers, and Morris with a rebound for the Houston Rockets on the run. Monteonis makes the catch, coming down and laid it in beautifully.
Did I say he could run the floor too?
He's running the floor. Great pass from Morris to give him that nice little alley-oop. I bet the fans was looking for him to dunk. But a dunk is nothing but 2 points anyway.
Right, same thing. It's a European finesse game.
Well, we wish you the best. Are you going to be playing it all this summer? How's the wrist going to?
The wrist it's minor. I'm just rehabbing it every day and just really trying to be safe with it, not take a big risk. And I'm done here in Vegas. I actually leave tomorrow, but I'm going to head back to Houston and then go to Orlando with my family and start working.
Wish you the best. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Chandler Parsons with us from Houston. Had a terrific year last year. Monteonis in the air.
Demo.
And the Rockets by 3 as we head to timeout with 5:47 to go in the second from Las Vegas. The Sacramento Kings over the years And the first-round draft choices: Thomas Robinson, Jimmer Fredette, of course, last year. DeMarcus Cousins, outstanding big man who had a very good year this year. Tyreek Evans, 2009, and Omri Caspi in 2008. Evans, Cousins, Fredette, and Robinson form the core of the Sacramento Kings. And, of course, they acquired Isaiah Thomas with the last pick in the draft last year. Last pick of the second round, and he ended up starting for this team.
Well, the thing is, they're trying to change their culture. You know, when you're trying to change your culture, you got to implement what your team is going to be about. Is it going to be defense, hard play? And right now, Sacramento's trying to break that culture.
Royce White grabs it, rips it, runs it, and distributes it beautifully over there to Gary Forbes, who is playing lights out. Forbes, formerly of the Denver Nuggets, the Toronto Raptors, came over to the Rockets along with a future first-round pick in the trade for Kyle Lowry. Nunnally comes the other way, and he knocks down a three for the Sacramento Kings.
You know, Royce White is really impressing me with his smooth touch. I mean, he's right then and there, just pulls up for a little short jump shot in the middle of the lane. He's really impressing me as far as his play today and back on the court.
Well, there are going to be some frontline positions open over there, Rick, with a amnesty of Luis Scola, and he's moving on down the road to the Phoenix Suns. So Houston's clearing out some room for what we're not sure.
They got some nice young talent.
Monty Eunice. This is Lazarick Jones with a rebound.
You know, a lot of people are, trying to be a major player and trying to get Dwight Howard. That's always going to be there. But each day, each team's looking for, that player that's going to take them over the hump.
But Royce White just will not be boxed out. He grabs another defensive rebound and immediately gets Houston into their set by pushing it up the floor, nobody turning him.
Well, he's a ball facilitator, and when you got guys that can handle the basketball with him and Jeremy Lamb, and then you got Morris, who can also Marcus Morris, who can also handle the basketball. It's hard to defend stuff like that, especially as a coach. It frustrates you to say, well, who's the point guard? Who's going to post up? So you get a lot of mismatches out there, and you take advantage of them.
Jimmer Fredette back in for the Sacramento Kings. Kurtz and Dominic Johnson will depart. Jackson is in with Mitchell and Fredette now. And Thomas Robinson is on the floor as well for Sacramento. Here is Fortson, and there was a man moving along the lane. And a lane violation will give Fortson another opportunity up there. Looked like it was a black jersey moving along the lane. And it was Nunnally indeed.
Well, you got to set up real quick when it's a free throw. Get in the right positions. Referees are Johnny on the spot.
Jackson with a rebound for the Sacramento Kings. Jason Thompson re-signed with the Kings. Jackson has a pretty good chance of making the squad, a veteran. Left side is Johnson. He would join Jackson up front along with Cousins and Thompson. Ball thrown out of bounds, and another turnover, it says, to the Sacramento Kings. That's their fifth.
And that's Robinson, that's his second turnover. He's got to learn to relax a little bit. He's forcing the issue. But that's when you're young and you're getting that experience. Right now, it's good to do it now than do it when the season starts.
Jeremy Lamb back in from three off the screen for Monty Eunice. Monty Eunice follows the play beautifully and is fouled at the rim.
Beautiful shot by Lamb, and Demo up in the air going for the rebounds. One thing about having good outside shooters, that leaves, big guys got to box their man out. But if you don't box them out, the ball, you're going to get in there and get fouls.
Monty Eunice measures at 7 feet. The Lithuanian lefty steps up and hits this one.
Nice jump shot. Nice, you can't make anybody 7 foot, but he's one of those big guys that can shoot outside, but yet go inside and play as well.
3:45 remaining in the second quarter. The Kings shooting 31%, the Rockets at 51%. And Jimmer Fredette so far 1 of 6 from the field, 6 of 6 from the line. Comes off the screen, hesitates, gets in deep, double pumps, leans back and scores.
That's a nice shot right there. He didn't settle for the little left-handed, but he came up and rocked his body and got position to do it.
Royce White crossing over. Jackson tracks him. And last touch by Jackson out of bounds. Houston will take it. 17 to shoot.
Well, it could have been a foul, but one thing White's expression is, hey, I'm going to keep going at you.
On the inbounds, Lamb. Tipped. Robinson controls. He can handle a little bit on the open floor. And draws the foul.
Good move by Robinson. That's the kind of, that's when you want to be aggressive as a young player. You attack the big guy, especially when he's backpedaling. Demo was backpedaling and he went right to the basket.
Robinson, of course, had a tough experience there at Kansas, losing his mother and his grandmother and grandfather. All of them dying of natural causes within a month and a half. In January of 2011, and he was left as the guardian of his 9-year-old sister Jayla.
You know, you become an instant man after that. I mean, with that much tragedy, but yet he's still staying focused, and his dream was to play in the NBA.
And shouldered Kansas all the way to the finals last year.
Oh, he was a beast.
Yep. Well, Robinson is yet to score. Missed 2 free throws there. Foul call on Sacramento's Jackson. And Fortson will head to the line now, with Houston on top here with 3 minutes remaining in the second period.
Fortson is attacking the basket and making sure that he can get, like he just got to the free throw line, but yet at 5'11", he's really getting to the basket and he's trying to challenge those big guys. You got 3 southpaws. I've seen 3 southpaws out there. Forcing Demo. Say his name real fast. 3 times fast.
Monty Eunice.
Monty Eunice, Monty Eunice, Monty Eunice.
Boy, that's good. You are good. Fredette off a screen, the pull-up fader. Got it.
I like that move by Fredette. It's like he's leaning, but he's leaning back and getting his shot off and not getting, you know, someone to block it.
Well, he's looking at Fortson, and he's one guy he could look down to. Fortson's 5'11". That's a nice little fall-away jump shot by Gary Forbes.
That was a big man move right there, and he did it with authority.
Kyle Lowry traded away Toronto, and Forbes in a first-round pick coming back. And Forbes maybe can help. Here's Jimmer outside in a rhythm now as he knocks this beauty down. As Monty Eunice was closing out, that was impressive. A 7-footer running at him, and he knocked it down. Fortson the other way sweeps in with a little backhand scoop.
Oh, the offense starting to pick up. The fans are really enjoying this offensive barrage of shots.
51% shooting for the Rockets. And the Sacramento Kings getting Jimmer Fredette rolling with 14 points here in the first half. And a 49-41 Rocket lead of a Royce White out of Iowa State, one of 3 first-round draft choices of the Rockets here on display at the NBA Summer League. Royce White, 16th pick in the draft, 6'8", 260, and here in the Summer League in the previous 2 games, averaging 5 points and 2 rebounds while shooting 40%. Here today against the Sacramento Kings, Royce White is having a good old time with 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 points already in 14 minutes of work.
Well, he's finally feeling comfortable. After a few games, you kind of get your legs right, and you get out on the game, you get in the court, and you start understanding what basketball is about.
Jimmer doubled. They put a bigger guard on him. Machado. Off it comes to Nunnally out of UC Santa Barbara. Machado the rebound, drives inside and laid it in for the Houston Rockets.
Nice giant killer layup. Jimmer Fredette with a nice little head fake, nice little pump fake to freeze Machado in the air to get to that free throw line where he's been lights out.
Sacramento led in scoring this year by Marcus Thornton, averaging just under 19 points a game. And DeMarcus Cousins, of course, the man up front, 6'11", the 21-year-old in his 3rd year, 18 points, 11 rebounds. And then Tyreek Evans averaging just under 17 points and 5 assists per ball game. Part of the core of the Sacramento Kings, and Jimmer Fredette coming off the bench last year. Isaiah Thomas averaged nearly 12 a game and 4 assists on that ball club.
Well, I'll tell you, Marcus Cousins, I think his experience trying out for the Olympic team is really going to help him. That's going to mature him to be a better basketball player coming into this year to really prove himself.
Jeremy Lamb with another beauty. Lamb 5 of 11, and he got up in the passing lane that time to deflect the ball, but a charge called. Offensive foul on Mitchell, giving it back to the Houston Rockets.
Well, Jeremy Lamb get a pin, a nice pin down basket, and he comes up and shoots the basketball with ease. No help right there, especially when you get a good solid pick, down pick.
If Houston were to land Jeremy Lin, and we will probably find out by tomorrow night, Machado called for an illegal use of the offhand that time. If Lin joins this ball club, you have Kevin Martin, their leading scorer from a year ago with the 2, and then you've got Lamb with his abilities, the rookie. That's a pretty good start on a backcourt.
Yes, it'll be a great start. Referees want to check the clock, making sure that the shot clock was running.
Houston offered Lin a 3-year, $25 million deal with a $15 million payout in the 3rd year.
Ooh, that's a lot of money.
Which has got the New York folks, of course, in a tizzy.
Well, that's what you have to do if you're going to make an offer. You might as well make it a good offer where the other team has to think.
Robinson feeding off to Jackson. Flat shot rolling off. About a minute left to play in the first half, and the Rockets on top by 10.
Royce White with his 10th rebound and his 5th assist. He's really impressive. He's really impressive right now. I mean, he's doing it all. I mean, that's just, he's filling the stat sheet. That's one of those guys you want to fill the stat sheet.
And Monty Eunice showing good hands, too, on that catch and shoot. And here is Fredette outside. And Jimmer more resembles now the Jimmer Fredette we saw at BYU.
Yes, it does.
Confident stroke, a little bit of swagger.
Yes, and he's comfortable.
19 points for Fredette. His first 3 of the afternoon. He's 8 of 8 from the line, 5 of 10 from the field. Royce White outside for 3. 16 seconds remaining. Monty Eunice with a rebound. And the lefty draws Robinson into him for a foul. With 11 seconds remaining, non-shooting foul.
Ball on the side. But I'll tell you, it was just great hustle plays by Demo and White. Getting that second chance opportunity to end this half.
Marcus Morris will bring it in bounds with 11 seconds remaining. Machado. Monty Eunice will screen. He'll roll. Makes the catch. Turns and laid it up and in. Well done.
Yes, it was. Nice finesse shot right there.
Jimmer from half court lets it fly, and that hit the front of the rim.
Said it was good. It looks good.
Jimmer Fredette finding a groove, but the Rockets with a sizable lead here at half, 57-46. Houston shooting 55%. Jeremy Lamb with 13 points. Gary Forbes off the bench with 11. Monty Eunice with 10. And Royce White with 10 rebounds. Let's go down to Jared Greenberg standing by.
Yeah, with Royce White, those 10 rebounds in the first half. I think the coaching staff put it in your head that you had to grab a few over the first 2 quarters.
Yeah, Coach Sampson came to talk to me before the game. He said, let's just focus on one rabbit right now. And if you focus on that one rabbit and excel, you'll probably do good in the rest of the game, and it's proven true.
Only 4 points. Are you going to look to try and get more of a post game in the second half?
No, I'm just going to look to make the right play. And, at this point, if they're sagging off on me, that means that they're slacking the defense. I'm going to try and make somebody else better.
All right, Royce, congratulations on a strong first half. Kevin, I tell you what, only a rookie, well beyond his years and maturity with what he knows his role should be on this team.
Jared, good point. Thanks very much. As Royce White controls the glass, and so Houston controls the scoreboard. So it goes. Jimmer Fredette doing what he can. 5 of 11 from the field, 19 points. And Jeremy Lamb electric at the cup as the Rockets lead at break.
Back live in Las Vegas at the Thomas & Mack Center, where at the half the Rockets lead the Kings 57-46. The big story over the first 2 quarters, Royce White already pulling down 10 rebounds. The 16th overall pick for the Rockets, living up to his hype. As we welcome you back inside the Thomas & Mack Center, Jared Greenberg now joined by Tom Penn from ESPN, the cap guru, former assistant general manager with both the Grizzlies and the Trailblazers. Whole lot of talk surrounding this Rockets club, what they're going to do as a whole. They've reshaped their entire roster. 4/5 of their starting lineup from last year's opening day gone, and it appears Jeremy Lin is now on his way to the Toyota Center.
Well, we're going to find out. That's the big story. Do the Knicks match that toxic offer that was delivered by the Rockets? This may be the new wave where you go after a restricted free agent, 2 years at a small number of $5 million, and then they put a balloon poison pill year at $15 million, and the consequences are huge financially, potentially, for the Knicks.
And it's whether or not James Dolan and company want to pay that extra luxury tax in 2015. And that's something you really have to sit down and figure out.
It's a new world luxury tax. Starting next year, instead of being dollar for dollar the way it is this year, the penalty gets incremental. Every $5 million costs more. So the first $5 million costs $7.5, but then it goes up and up. So in Jeremy Lin's case, if they're $5 million into the luxury tax without him, which they should be, that $15 million salary will cost them in total $52 million because it's a $37.5 million tax hit. So the question is a player like Jeremy Lin, as great as he is, worth an extra $52 million to that franchise?
I had trouble with algebra in 5th grade. I'm not sure how you guys do this.
Well, it's not that hard. Just multiply and add.
With the Rockets and trying to reshape the organization, all the talk is surrounding not only Jeremy Lin, but ultimately working toward Dwight Howard. Is it worth it for this franchise and Daryl Morey to mortgage so much to, even if they get Dwight Howard, to know that they'll only be guaranteed to have him for 1 year?
Well, if they make that kind of play, what they've done is accumulate a ton of youth. Much of it we're watching here today. We'll see them again in the second half. I mean, a lot of their team is here. They've accumulated these assets. The other thing they have is cap room, 20+ million in room to play with, even if they get Jeremy Lin. So in that case, they can do the uneven deal, pick up a stud like Dwight Howard. Now, take your chances, try to re-sign him. If they can re-sign him, yeah, it's worth it. He's that good. If they can't re-sign him, then it was a risk worth taking, and they got the decks cleared, and they can rebuild from there. So pretty interesting game of poker for sure.
And there's a whole lot of poker going on here in Las Vegas, so hopefully deals are being worked on right now.
Yeah, they're working the room. I mean, we didn't see anything at the draft, right? No trades. No trades, and that meant we were going to see chaos at the free agent period like this, because guess what? You got to reshuffle your team. You got to stack the deck again differently, and it's time for them to do that.
A whole lot of references to casinos around here, Tom.
Flowing out of here. What the heck?
Tom Penn from ESPN, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining us at the half right now between the Kings and the Rockets. Second half action when we return to scenic Las Vegas, Nevada.